Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do a reading. It is a weekly reading. My Earth cousins, how are you? Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. This week we are looking at a 9-card draw, Cappies, and we are talking about something specific. We are talking about what sort of skin you're going to be shedding as we go into the week. Now on the 17th, we do have the switch over from the year of the snake, which is the mastery of the inner world, to the year of the horse, which is now switching over to the mastery of the outer world. So friends, we ride at dawn. So the Saturn and Neptune are going to be at 0 degrees in Aries, and that's going to be on the 20th. So between the 17th and the 20th, you're being asked, what are you going to keep building? Or what are you going to burn to the ground and start again? Because it's time for the mastery of the external self now. Let's find out what is going on for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about private reads. I'm also going to tell you about where to find the extended. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your thumbs up and your hypes. They make a lot of difference for me. Thank you for subscribing. All right. All right. That's it. We're on our way. Things begin to move. This is movement. This is adventure, possibly travel. Tell me what's going on for Capricorn. We've got, the 10 of Cups. I like it. Look, this is where you move into the happiest part of your life, the joyous part. It feels like this is now going to be the happy part, my friend. And we have the Page of Wands, so start to get excited. I'm going to say that the Page of Wands looking at the 10 of Cups is telling me that, yeah, it's going to feel a little bit risky because 10 of Cups are always about feelings, right? The Page of Wands is like, come on, come get it, let's go. We've got the 10 of Cups with the Page of Wands looking at it saying, this is the exciting part. It's going to make you very happy, but it might feel very risky because the Page of Wands is good news, exciting news, and is also very, how can I say? The Page of Wands is the excitement, but, the children don't really understand what the consequences are, right? And so I feel like it's very curious energy, and I feel like it does end up in the 10 of Cups. It makes you feel very good, but I think the velocity at which this begins to move might be a little bit terrifying. But the Page of Wands is telling me, I'm just going to throw that wand in the air, and we're just going to go for it. I'm going to take a risk on my happiness. Tell me what else is coming up for Capricorn. We've got the Queen of Wands. Look, I think you're ready to make a bold move. I think you're ready to move 8, 9, 10 because you're over it. It feels like you're just over it, Capricorn. I'm over being held down. I'm done. I just need to move forward. I feel like, this Queen of Wands energy tells me that it's brave energy, but it's also wisdom. Like, it's not just that you're doing it with the curiosity of a child and throwing it all to the wind and saying, woo, yeah, let's do it, and watching it all burn to the ground. I feel like it's a controlled burn. I feel like you're like, okay, well, if it sets on fire, it sets on fire. I've walked through the fire before. It feels like you are resilient, but I feel like, it's like the white knuckle ride, it feels like here. I feel like you can flip into your Queen of Wands energy anytime you want to, but I feel like it's in a moment's notice, understand? I feel like you're dropping some sort of burden. Yeah, I feel like you're going to feel some type of way about having to move forward quicker than you want to. That's what it feels like here. And we've got the 9 of Wands, yeah, because I feel like you really are exhausted. You're mentally exhausted about thinking about a plan. What do I do next? It feels like you're kind of mentally exhausted about trying to find a way to get your 10 of Cups. I'm going to say that it's not something you need to work for. I think it's here being offered to you, but I feel like you just need to be brave enough to make some sort of big bold move forward, and try not to hold back the 8 of Wands, because I feel like it's taking a shot at your 10 of Cups. Now, I could be talking about a new job. I could be talking about some sort of fiery relationship. I could be talking about some brand new exciting news that's about to show up for you. Let's keep moving here. Okay, well, we'll take the 6 of Swords. If it's just going to pop out like that. So we've got the Six of Swords. It looks to me like once you make the bold move, if you can get out of your head long enough to make the bold move, be brave enough to do it. I mean, you have enough wisdom to know how to, make sure you take the kit with you to patch up your knees in case you fall and scrape your knees. But I feel like you're dropping something here. That's what it feels like. Like we've got 8, 9, 10, as I was saying. We've got 9 and 1 in the hand of the Queen. That's 10. It feels like you are deciding to release or drop some sort of heavy burden. I think that the heavy burden was the 8 of Swords. I think that you were caught in your mind in a place that you would put yourself about not being able to make a decision about moving forward, how quickly you want to move forward. I feel like you do move forward because I think that it's already in motion, to be honest. I think it's already in motion, and I feel like you are moving to a calmer place in the mind. This is a bit chaotic, right? I feel like you are moving to a calmer place in the mind when you realize that this moving forward is necessary and maybe taking a small risk, right? The Page of Wands is what you might need to do in order to get this happiness here. I feel like it's what's on the other side of what you want is the 10 of Cups, but it might feel risky at the time. We've got the 7 of Swords. I think you're scared of lies, deceit, concealment, things you don't see. You're scared that something is in the blind spot that you're not seeing here. I think that the 9 of Wands is the worrisome energy of something's got to be in the blind spot. That's usually what happens with me, Elsie. Usually something I didn't count on goes sideways. I feel like the 9 of Cups here is telling me, well, it's very interesting that the 9 of Cups is looking at the 7 of Swords, because I feel what is being concealed is like you feel that this is ominous. It feels like, oh, I'm missing something. What am I missing? Something's under the surface and I feel it. What is going on? I think that you think it's a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing. I think that you're so used to being like tripping over things or something going wrong, or it feels like a little bit of Chicken Little syndrome, but I feel like it's for a good reason. I feel like you really have had things fall on your head. But I feel like I'm going to tell you that whatever is about to change here, that is making you feel nervous about having to take some sort of small risk. It could be a small emotional risk. It could be a small mental risk. It feels like something here, what's under the surface here is actually something that's really good. It's inward and external happiness, which I love because we're asking about what skin are you shedding this week, right? And this is about the internal world that's reflected externally. Because when you're happy internally, you don't wait for someone else's verification to tell you it's okay and time to be happy. But I feel like you're bracing for something like bad to happen here because the 7 of Swords is here, but it's not an ominous energy. I think that because you've been in the 8 of Swords so long and you feel like you're trapped in the mind, that this is the only place it goes. What if it doesn't work out? So I feel like that you are sitting on something here that you're releasing so you can have happiness. And I feel like it's closer than you think. And I feel like it's going to work out, but it feels a little bit terrifying. It feels like you're just throwing all the spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. And I don't think that that's the case here. We're going to take 2 cards. Let's see what's going on underneath the surface here, Capricorn. Let's find out what's going on for Cappies here under the surface. Look at that. I think that this 7 of Swords is making you a little nervous because we're in the 9s. Because we're coming to the ends of cycles. This is the moment before everything goes right. That's what it feels like, the moment before everything goes right. So the 9 of Pentacles is also standing strong and confident. And look, I did this all by myself. I didn't have any help. I actually did the glow up on the inside. I did the glow up on the outside. Now, internally, right, your feelings and how you feel about it is this mastery of the inner world. And now you have the mastery of the external world, the 3D world. We have the 5 of Wands, and I think you were fighting it all the way because of this 8 of Wands, understand. I think that you were fighting the pace at which it was going to change, at the pace at which something was going to arrive. I think that you were stuck in this 8 of Swords energy, because whatever's at the heart of the matter in a 9-card read sort of lends energy to the rest of the read, right? Nervous about it not working out, or I'm just going to get hurt again, or I'm too exhausted to put up with this shit anymore. Like it feels like there was overthinking Maybe I haven't seen some of the pitfalls. I feel like someone's lying to me. Why do I have this really terrible, ominous feeling in my gut? You know, it's the 8 of Swords with the 6 of Swords. This is sort of Chicken Little syndrome. It's like something is already moving, and I feel like I can't stop it from moving. But what you didn't realize is that it was just a move from the chaos to a calmer place. So let's clarify just a little bit here. Tell me what's moving forward quickly. Tell me why Capricorn needs to practice being in the Queen of Wands energy. Which is, I'm going to do it anyway, because that's the Queen of Wands. That's why the Queen of Wands is running the show. Independent. I'm just going to do it anyway. Tell me what the 8 of Wands here. We've got the Star. Look, this is going to be making you feel like the most vulnerable time in your life, but I also feel like it's the most hopeful time in your life. I also feel like this is a really good decision to move forward, a good time to move forward, because this is not only healing energy, it's hopeful energy. Keep throwing cards on the floor today. You are the 3rd sign I've read for, and the 3rd time I've dropped cards. What is this? We've got the 8 of Pentacles. Sometimes I feel like I'm supposed to dive for them, and sometimes I just don't. Talk about the 8 of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. So look, that's your energy, the Queen of Pentacles. It's Capricorn energy, but of course, because we are in general reading, it's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I really feel that you have enough information. I'm going to say that the 8 of Pentacles tells me that you're really good at decision making. You're really good at whatever you're moving forward to. I feel like it's a perfection issue with you. That if the plan doesn't go forward when I say it's supposed to go forward, then it's not going to work out. It feels like the Queen of Pentacles tells me, the 8 of Pentacles tells me that you're the subject matter expert on it. You know the analytics. You've gone over the plan. You know how much it costs. You're the CEO, right? You're the CEO of the Zodiac. I feel like you're really good and well planned. But I feel like it's almost like the universe is like, okay, well, it's time to go now. And you're like, wait, I wasn't planning on doing it now. I wasn't planning on doing it right now. Maybe I just don't have enough confidence to do it now. But I think that you do, because 8 and 1 is 9. So I feel like what's waiting under the surface that you don't see is that the confidence is coming, because the universe never lays out the net and says, okay, go ahead, jump, I'll catch you. That's not how it goes down with the universe. The universe is like, has you standing with your toes off the edge. How bad do you want it? Are you ready to jump into the abyss? Do you have enough information to know if you're going to hit the water or the rocks? So I feel like when you jump that the universe does pull out the net, but I feel like the universe wants you to trust first. So I feel like whatever's happening, Queen of Pentacles, it's something you've planned. It's something you know about. It's something you have the analytics about. It feels like it is something to do with your health, time, energy, effort, your work, your career, your money. It feels like something's about to work out for you, but you didn't expect that you would have to scramble to get it done, because you weren't expecting it to happen now. But things are moving forward, regardless of how you feel about it. I feel like you're standing here ready for it, and your pre-empress energy, but it feels like it's going to move too fast and it's going to make you uncomfortable. Tell me about the 8 of Swords. Why were you stuck in this mind thing here? We have the 7 of Pentacles. You wanted to wait. You didn't feel like you were prepared. I want to reassess it. Can we just go into the reassessment phase first? I'm not really sure if I have everything that I need or if I'm prepared to do this. I feel like that's why you were stuck in your head here. But look, I feel like you had already thrown your seeds of intention, and so your intention was there, and that's why the universe shows up with the 8 of Wands and says, okay, well, it's time to go. It's time to go. Look, you don't have to go right now. It's minor arcana. You can decide whether you're going right now or not, but I feel like now is the right time to do it. We've got the 4 of Swords. It's the time where I feel like your finances are being healed, your career is about to be healed, whatever intention is yours, whatever the intention is that you have. I feel like you weren't ready for it. Maybe you thought that, gosh, if I move right now, it feels like I've been waiting so long, but if I move right now, it's not going to work out, because 3 swords are behind the person on the 4. You're already healing from something that didn't work out, or you're healing from, maybe you've resigned yourself to the fact that it's taking so long. 7 of Pentacles is the reassessment phase, but also waiting and waiting and waiting. Maybe you decided it wasn't showing up. Well, look at this. Judgment card shows up. And the Judgment card is about taking a turn, making a small decision, making a decision to do something that puts you on a complete 180, that it takes you down a completely different path. So I feel like there's something here you've been waiting for change. You've been waiting to hear the call, to heed the call, and I think you will, but I don't think you expected the call to come right now. And I think that's the problem, that you didn't expect the call to come right now. You weren't ready for it to come right now. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords. Why do you feel like something ominous is under the surface? The Queen of Swords is here because I've had to fight for everything. Because I've already liberated myself from so many situations. I have to be clear. I feel like I'm saying it clearly and nobody's listening. You know, if you're a mom or a dad, right? You're like, don't do that. Don't do that. These are the consequences if you do that. And you're like, stop doing that. And they're like, wow, why did dad lose his crap? Why did mom lose her crap? Because nobody's listening. I feel like once you finally stand up and I feel like once you finally liberate yourself, that you decide to speak honestly and clearly. I think that you already have the plan. And so when the Queen of Swords shows up, you're already ready to go right now. I don't think you're waiting anymore. I don't think you're waiting for the ships to come in anymore. I think that the ships are here. One more card. And we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. You're doubling back. Oh, very interesting. You're coming back to this. To me, when the Judgment card shows up, it also is, this is a situation that you've faced before. This is something that you've faced before. It tells me that something is coming back to face you and saying, okay, well, we showed this to you in 2018. Were you ready? Nope. I don't want to do it right now. I'm not ready to invest. I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready to take action right now. And then it came back maybe in 2021 and said, are you ready? And you're like, nope, I'm not ready yet. So I don't know if this is a job or a relationship, or this is something that is going to pull you into the complete joy of your life. You've been holding off your own happiness and wish fulfillment because you weren't ready to move. The thing is that you are not the one who is the fixed sign, but you are an earth sign. And that has you moving slower than everybody else. Not stuck, but moving slower than everyone else because it must go to plan. Yeah. So we're going to go into the extended. If you would like to come to the extended and watch me clarify the rest of this, please look at the pinned comment. It's pinned above all of the comments. And you'll click on the read more. It'll give you a link to the membership area. That's where all these extendeds go. If you'd like to be there, that's where we'll be. If you're interested in a private read, please know that I do both live calls and pre-recorded calls. My pre-recorded readings begin at $25. Go up to from there. You can have that back in 48 hours, or check out my my guide of timetable. You'll see when I'm going to be online live. And if you book ahead, book in advance, in any of those times, you'll get between 5 and 75% off. And if you just want to drop in and say hello, I'm always waiting there at the timetable that is available. I'm going to go for now into the extended. If you'd like to be there, that's where I will be. I'm going to go now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. And this feels like a little bit of Mars in Capricorn, I'm just going to say. And so what's adding to it is, Neptune and Saturn are going to be at the 0 degree of Aries, and you already have Mars in your sign. So it's the destruction of the old that's pushing you into the new. That's what it feels like. I know it's terrifying. I'll be back because I'm always back. Let's go to the extended. Don't know why I need to say that, but I'm going to go for now. Take care. Bye-bye.